For people that didn't follow this closely, explain how this started with Colin Kaepernick, what action he took, why he took it, and then what he's done since then.
Colin said he's always been bothered by police brutality, but he never understood it as the systemic problem that it was. And he's a young guy. I mean, he was 21 when he came into the league, and he literally started auditing a few classes at Berkeley, and from those classes began understanding what systemic racism was, began understanding the systems behind mass incarceration or white supremacy or police brutality. And he was doing this with very few people, including myself, not knowing. I had no idea he was auditing classes. He was kind of undergoing a personal metamorphosis, and he was doing it while he was recovering from these surgeries that he had had. And during last summer, he saw the deaths of Philando Castile in Minnesota and Alton Sterling in Baton Rouge, and they just affected him personally. And really, without talking to anybody, he decided at a preseason game that he wasn't going to stand up for the national anthem. And so Colin and I had been talking for a couple of months at that point, and I think it really was a spur of the moment, gut decision where he heard the anthem and just decided, like, I'm not going to stand up for that. I don't feel like it. I don't believe it. And when they noticed, a local reporter asked him about it at the end of the game, and he hadn't prepared any bullets, and he just said,
I mean, ultimately, it's to bring awareness and make people realize what's really going on in this country. There are a lot of things that are going on that are unjust, people aren't being held accountable for, and that's something that needs to change. That's something that, this country stands for freedom, liberty, justice for all, and it's not happening for all right now.
And, that he was doing this to be in solidarity with victims of police brutality. And I was working with those families, Philando Castile's family, Alton Sterling's family, and they were deeply moved by it. And I think when he learned that these families who rarely get anything that resembles justice, when he learned that they were touched by his demonstration, I think he decided to stick with it. And it became a national conversation where after games, there would be dozens of reporters there just to ask him what he was thinking. And people were taken aback because what they found was a bright, brilliant young man who had ample reason to do what he was doing and could explain it very articulately. And I think people thought maybe there was no depth there, like a stereotype of an athlete. And I had the thought, man, that he was so careful and methodical about how he handled this that not that the country would change, but I'd never thought he would be, in essence, banned from the league. And that's what we have here, a guy who, in the prime of his physical career, was not even brought in for a serious look.
And I want to talk about that because the flip side of this argument, I don't mean to say that there's only two ways of looking at this, but you have NFL commentators and others who are saying, look at the stats that he put up last year. He had a terrible season.
But this isn't,
I'm saying that this is what is said, that he clearly was had peaked and sort of was on his way down. What's interesting is that I'm from Wisconsin, so I'm biased, the best quarterback in the country, Aaron Rodgers, who is not known for being a political guy, actually very recently came out and said, no, I think that Colin Kaepernick should be on a team and that this is political. This is not about his skills.
Yeah, when I saw Aaron say this, like, he's not a guy that takes hard stands on political issues. And so when he said something, I was very curious as to what he was going to say. And he said emphatically, without hesitation, like, no, this is not a football decision, that had he not taken the stand that he took, he would be on a team right now. He would be the quarterback of the 49ers. And so he works out 6 days a week and has been. He's in incredible shape. He could start for a team right away, yet here we are. He has not even been given a backup position. And so there've been a lot of lies about him. Like, people said that he wouldn't take a backup position. That's a lie. He would. People said he also would not even accept a smaller contract. That's a lie. He hasn't even been offered any contracts. And
you have guys who have criminal convictions, who have done time in prison. I mean, Michael Vick and the whole, dog torturing thing, and he comes back into the league. And there was also a lot of racism in the way that Michael Vick was covered.
Yeah.
But these guys, and some of them are white players who have all sorts of trouble with the law.
Sure.
And we're not talking about a guy who broke the law here. We're talking about a guy who nonviolently took a political position.
Well, that's what's disturbing, man, is he is the stereotype of what black men are told they have to be successful. Like he is quiet. He literally stays in at night. He doesn't party or go to the clubs. He's never been in legal trouble a day in his life. He's a college graduate, a bright guy. He's in a committed relationship with an upstanding woman. I mean, I hate to even list these things, but he is everything young black men are told they will need to be to rise up any type of corporate ladder. And
except
black.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, other black men in the league, as you noted, have done horrific things. And I think it gets to the fact that the decision is actually extremely political. At least 7 team owners in the NFL have given $1 million or more to Donald Trump's campaign. People kind of universally agree that NFL ownership is the most conservative ownership group of any sports league in the world.
It's also interesting, this kind of mealy-mouthed line, well, these guys shouldn't be political. The entire framing of the NFL for many years has been overtly political in celebration of the U.S. war machine. You have the jets that are flying overhead. Ted Cruz was at a game this weekend celebrating with this American bald eagle that went over a huge American flag tarp.
And it was like a bald eagle on steroids. It was the largest bald. I thought when I first saw it, I was like, is that real? Like, and he was bragging because the flag took up the entire field from corner to corner. Yeah. I think they literally found the world's largest bald eagle and the world's largest flag. And there's money being exchanged here between the military and the NFL. They actually are paying for a lot of these demonstrations. Then people didn't even understand that marketing dollars are at play.
But also, and it's not like, we're all coming together to celebrate our country. It is overtly about celebrating the part of our country that wages wars that increasingly a majority of people are against. So the politics is already drilled into the whole apparatus. It'd be one thing if we had some massive celebration of the First Amendment or the Fourth Amendment, as part of the patriotism. But it's just one part of America that's being honored, and that is the militaristic component of this country.
Yeah, I agree. And in spite of that, people aren't looking at the nuanced nature of really what's at play here. Even the fact that they brought back Hank Williams Jr., who for the first time in almost 6 years will be doing his Monday Night Football anthem.
Well, it's Monday night and we're ready to strike. Our special forces are in full flight. We're coming by air and on the ground. Monday Night Football's taking over the town. We gotta get ready. We gotta get right. It's gonna be a battle in the NFL tonight.
They literally waited until President Obama left office because he had said horrendous racist things about President Obama. They waited until Obama left office.
You mean when John Boehner played golf with President Obama?
Oh, yeah. And Biden and Kasich, yeah. Uh-huh.
What did you not like about it? It seems to be a really pivotal moment for you.
Come on. It'd be like Hitler playing golf with Netanyahu, okay?
Okay.
Not hardly. In the country this shape is in, the shape this country's in, I mean, no, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't understand that analogy, actually.
Well, I'm glad you don't, brother, because a lot of people do. Well, they're the enemy.
Who's the enemy?
Obama.
And then brought him right back to open up for Monday Night Football. And so for anybody to say, hey, Colin shouldn't be bringing politics to the field, it's already there. And I think, though, we have crossed a point where if 9 months ago people were saying he shouldn't be political, or other people were saying this is just a football decision, I think with comments from guys like Aaron Rodgers, but a few dozen athletes across the league, many of them who have been lifelong competitors of Colin, have all come out to say, listen, cut the crap. this is just about them not liking his politics and not liking the stand that he took. And that's why I thought a boycott was necessary. Like, that's not okay. It's not okay for a place like this to boot a man in the prime of his life because he took a peaceful stand against something that millions of us believe we should all be taking a stand against, and that's police brutality. It's not a stand against police, but a stand against police brutality. It's a stand against injustice.